Hello, monkey. Alright. Road to 800 days. Here we come. This week, we will try to make some more things work. Currently, when I am in the battle, we can only fight with the fire formation. So when I'm here, I cannot change to other fronts because there are no attacks. Also, maybe I can implement the skipping functionality. We have to see. There are many things to do, but I think the first thing we should do is make all fronts workable and see that the variety of attacks work with all the systems. So, what should we do first? I guess the water side? Or maybe the... So one thing that is very good against the fire side should be the crystal side. So in order to survive the blows, maybe it is time to introduce the front slot. Now, how do we do this? Do we even have a front slot yet? I don't think I integrated the slot. So maybe we need to find a position for it. This is just the arena. We need this thing. And not only this thing, we probably need it here. We already have it. Interesting. Just need to move it. Barrier slot here. Which is probably still at 0? No. Interesting. We already have it. But why is it a little shifted to the Z-axis? We don't know. Give me a second, my glasses are so dirty. Alright. So in order to make crystal work, we previously had two different attacks. One was the wall, the crystal barrier, and one was the charging attack. I think the charging attack is not that important right now, but we need to add something that can do a charging. But in order to make the wall happen, we need to look at our targeting. It will be so much more complicated when confusion gets into the mix. I also need to integrate that thing into the pool. Well, one step at a time, I guess. But where do we even start with? The barrier, right? Let's see. I guess I first need to look how the attacks actually gets created, and then go from there. I also need to make a new abstract for barriers that need to spawn an entity with fighting entity stats in them. And these need to be filled by the ability. Interestingly enough. And then the enemy also needs to be locked into fighting what is in the front. So my tactics need to consider that too. Hey Phil, how are you doing? So there are multiple things to do here. Maybe we should also consider how the barrier should look like. In my previous prototype it was just a sphere, but maybe we should use that shield effect I already have. This thing. Needs to be crystal. Should I use this? I'm also good. Oh, I wanted to check one thing before I forget. Since all my orplings are not transparent, but the last orpling that I will add, which is now the first one again, is slimy, and that guy is actually transparent. Will that still work with my stuff? What are we using here currently? Interesting. So if I go here Tomati, materialize values 1. So this thing, can we go to the parent? Is this transparent? This is masked. Oh dear. It has 2 materials. This one probably Just a normal one. And what's with the transparent one? Uh-huh. So you have this one and this one. Just with opacity. Yeah, this will not work anymore, will it? Wait, what is even... Why is there a second slot here? Okay, now I am confused. What's going on? Parent one is this, transparent. So we're using these two. Problem is, this cannot go transparent. How are we using it in the game then? How does this materialize? Right now it doesn't. Hold on, does Fishy actually have the materialization stuff? Seems like it. Huh. What if I added Slimy into the mix for now? Let's create Slimy. So this is Tomati, this is Fishy. Which is already strange enough, but so this is fire, fire, water, 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 earth, 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 fire, Tomati, Fishy. So I guess we could add Slimy here. Then Shroomy is here. So on the other side... Okay, we have all light ones here already. What's with the dark side? Okay, here we need a light one again. Shroomy or Fishy, doesn't matter that much. I don't think I want Snack here, so this is Fishy. And this needs to be Shroomy. So this thing is lightning crystal. Lightning air crystal. We still have two more. We have the Snack, and And snack could be here since physical attacks. So snack is here. Well, our key needs to be here then. Because we can't put it there. Then either another snack or a slimy here. I think it's slimy. So the formation for now would look like this. You could also get rid of snack here, but I don't like snack being here. So we have only one snack here. With 2 fishies. Alright then. So what are these called? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's 7 here, 8 and 9. Okay, so tomati, fishy. 3 is also fishy then. Let's copy the values. I mean, there are no real values to copy from. These need to change at some point anyway. Then that's 3. Oh, give me a sec. Alrighty. 1, 2, 3. Four is oh, I said shroomy. Yeah, okay. So for now we leave this tomati. Slimy. We have only one slimy, that is here. And the rest can... oh, we have 2 slimies, sorry. 8 is also slimy. Okay. Is the rest fine-ish? Like this. I guess I also have to add some kind of global default tactic, so if it doesn't find a tactic for a front, it should fall back to something. So I believe the slimy thing will now not work anyway, but we should add it into the group. I hate the fact that you cannot order these. So fire, lightning, fire, water, summoner, I don't care. Water, air, water, earth. Then earth, crystal is missing. Then earth, fire. Lightning, air. Air, crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One is missing. Which one is missing? Lightning, air. Air, crystal. Crystal. Crystal, lightning is missing. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 5. 6. Crystal, lightning. Why is that 7? I think this should be 7 instead. Air, crystal is 8. And this is 9. Okay. So I believe this will still not work. Do we have all the ARPlings? No. We do have representations, but the ARPlings themselves... Is this correct? Is it? It is also missing here now because of the slimy. So what is the error? So base ID. cannot spawn it because the visual thing is missing. I need the data table. So, slimy. Here. I don't have the thumbnail yet. Is that correct? No, that needs to be... Oh, okay, that's correct. This thing needs to be added. Let's see. I need to rename this at some point, but it's not that important. Okay, that's that. Yeah, I think the shader is a problem right now. That makes sense. There's the Tomati shader. So we changed Tomati shader to this. I guess the transparent one needs to be... Wait, what is this? Do we use this? Oh, this is getting scary. What? How? How is this referencing this? Is this using it? No, that's using this. Oh, how about this one? No, that's using this. So what is using this then? So it clearly says the asset itself has some kind of reference to it. Maybe in the defaults? This one. Can't be. Opening material infos. Ah, there it is. Oh. Is this how we did it for Tomati too? Oh boy. I guess we're switching these. It's so strange. It's not strange, actually, it's just so long time ago. I'm not sure if this is feasible anymore. Where are we even? Evolution animation, excuse me? Oh god. We use it for evolution. So it has nothing to do with the crystal. So why is it then transparent? How is it transparent? Oh wait. No, it's fine. It is transparent because there is a different shader in the normal one. So this translucent thing, you have to get rid at some point and make either a evolution thing or our main material needs to be able to do something like that. Interesting, but yeah, that's future monkey problem right now. So we now know what this is for, which means this thing is right now breaking everything. It needs to be Orpling material, but then we will lose. Can this even work? I mean, now it will be like opaque, when it materializes. Can't even materialize currently. Yeah, now we cannot see the insides of it. Oh, it killed them. Let's do it differently. Let's pause the game when they materialize. Funny enough, they targeted right only those two. It's so stupid. Anyway, let's go here. So I feel like we need a transparent option for this. Because else cannot see what's inside here. Either a transparent option or our main shader needs to be transparent. So this was our main. This is our second one. No idea what this was. What's with the opacity here though? Where do we use this? Or did use? Does that mean that Tomati has only one shader inside? Currently? Yes, all our ore planes currently have only one material info. Slimy needs two. Which means this can stay what it is. This one needs the secondary shader. this one that we are now changing. Problem is, probably want to be able to change some opacities depending on maybe I can make a slimy one. And I use this. Can we just do this? How is this transparent currently? I don't get it at all anymore. Unless the texture itself is transparent. Hey, Scene. New Arpling? No. It's more like making my old one work with the system. I mean, I wish to have new Arplings or new models for my old ones. But sadly, the artist I was talking to is ghosting me, so... I have so much... how to say... I'm so unfortunate with artists. There's only one good artist, which is my 2D concept, etc., who also did the 3D for Mira, by the way. That guy is like, if I ask them, they just deliver. But any other one I asked either scams, ghosts me, or I don't know. It's very strange. Did you ever commission someone to do something for you? Not yet. Well, if you ever have like any advice for me when your approach is better, please feel free to tell me your experiences when you commission someone. If you don't get ghosted, etc. like me. Because, dude, I don't know. I always go on Twitter and then find someone and then ask them, but that was... It's bad. Like, I would pay, etc., but it doesn't even get to that part. Art streams. I see. Well, I also commission only artists that I know for a while on Twitter, where I'm sure they are not using AI. So why is this thing right now showing me something? Like, why is this transparent and not transparent at the same time? What the hell? What is this? Why is part of it transparent, part isn't? Sorting? What do you mean sorting? How can I isolate? Ah man, they're using all the same thing. No, I do understand what you mean. I'm just not sure why the sorting would be a problem, because this crystal is not transparent. At least it shouldn't be, but I think the material is not assigned correctly. Like, if I isolate this is just gone. But how are you doing, Scene? How was your weekend? Oh my god, what? The not transparent parts are the eyes? Oh my god. Oh yeah, I heard about that. So now I'm confused about the transparency, because right now I'm telling the shader to be opaque. With this thing. So since it's opaque, this shouldn't happen in my eyes. What if I go here currently? Why is it black now? Why would it be black now? Interesting. Same thing happens. Yeah, man. It's getting worse and worse every year, right? Alright, be right back, guys. Alright, monkey's back. So seeing if you're still there, I hope things will turn out better this week. Now, this thing is still very, very funny, even though we say it should just oh, what now? Very, very strange. I mean, I could maybe add another material in to see if that changes anything, but this mesh itself will be replaced soon anyway. So maybe I'll just bite the bullet for now. Oh wait, I think I know what's going on, maybe? No, I don't. I know what's going on here. Although not completely. I don't understand. Why doesn't it have... Oh, we have some compile errors. That's why. Or do we? Wait. Why doesn't it go through? Oh, there. No, it's true. I don't know, this is strange to me. Oh well. So it kinda works now. Kinda not. But that's something for another day. What I'm concerned about are the things here. So maybe the opacity now needs to go down a little bit. So I can still not see the eyes. And it never occurred to me that that was an issue. Speaking of, nothing goes through. Is it masked still? What's going on? Or is the material wrong? Wait, let's check the material. Interestingly enough, here it seems to work. And this is the kind of look I want, so I feel like the opacity is getting tinkered with. We have to see. I mean, I could also just rename it so it cannot be tinkered, but let's get this into a value where it actually looks kinda goodish. I mean, I'm not sure, man. Everything seems bad with this. Hey, fifth function. It's fine. How are you today? Doubling is not good. I don't know how I will deal with this at a later stage, but that's already very bad. So now the question is, why is this 1 and not 0.7? So weird. The only part where this is getting changed is in the evolution, and this code cannot fire right now. There's just no way. So how come in my game currently when I start the opacity is set to 1? What am I doing wrong here right now? Like, why? This should be transparent. What is happening? This thing is 0.7 here. And this is the one we are using, right? Slimy transparent material. Oh, we are not. That's the problem. And we can't use it because it's a... God damn. This is a material instance dynamic. Why can't I fill it? Wait. It does work, so I need to change this. If I change this to material dynamic, does that mean that my master materials cannot be set to this anymore? Oh my god, I'm going to break so many things now. Well, luckily this is the only place we're using this. So if I change this to material dynamic, will everything break? Oh god, please. So here, this is rather easy. Can just do this. And then it should work. The problem is, and I'm scared to even open this thing. So how can I fill this now with the material? Does that just work by going here? Slimy? No, we need tomati. Just this thing. So I cannot add this anymore. If I made a instance, this also doesn't go in there. Material instance. I would like to delete this. Hello? Why can't I delete it? Do I need to save it before I can delete it? Why can't I delete this? Why is this grayed out? Why am I even in there? Oh my god, please. Okay, material instance. If I change it to this, save. Can we create from here? Seems to work. And now we go to Tomati. Can I add this in there? No. But if I do this, can I add this in there? Yes. So this means for every ARPling we need to now create a material instance. Great. Amazing. Or I can of course say default material instance. ARPling default mi, like this. And then go with this. Fishy needs this too. Where's Fishy? Here. So we can add the default in here too. And now need it for slimy. So the first one should be the transparent one, which is probably this one. I don't need this probably. For the other one we can just use this, I assume. I don't care. Alright, let's see. Oh god. Interesting. Well, at least the eyes are there now. Oh my god. Can we exit a sequence camera in paused mode? This seems to be kind of fine. Of course. Why are you up anyway, fifth function? You're always up very, very, very late. I mean, I'm also up for very late, like 2 a.m., but you're going for 4 a.m., etc., right? I see. So if I set 1 here, does that break every orb thing too? Yes, that's the problem. Okay. Good to know. Which means if I go to Slimy, and set this to 0, it should be fine. Well, the slimy material here is probably not needed, needs to be deleted at some point. We should maybe mark that. Whoops. Why is this even a thing? Why is this a thing? Oh my god! Order disorder? I wonder. Ugh. Okay, now it should look correct. No work or school, I assume? You gave up on them? I see. How long ago though? Okay, now the slimy Orpling is in again. And works. Now we need to actually get back on track to add a new attack in there. So many things open now. I guess the shaders we can close. These ones too. Should I fix the other 3D stuff too? Maybe I should. So we fixed slimy. Fishy is probably also fixed, right? So now Earth, Shroomy, and lightning. Oh, we need air too. In air we have 2. Snack here. And this guy. Okay, now for at least these are workable in my old system too. Why was the college a scam? So let's see. So we need to make another abstract for barriers. And then we need to see that it does something similar. And then probably we will just use the effect we already have with a different color. Ah, I see. Let's look what the magic attack did to then do something similar. Now it did some pre-calculations. Interesting. How? Possible target. Well, my first semester we also didn't do programming or 3D. That sounds like a preparation for the rest. I see. Do you know anyone that did do the things in that college and then was employed, etc.? Problem here is this is the pre-calculation. I can create the assets, but it should not appear before the animation starts. Did you ask them why they redesigned it? What was the background? Speaking of which, now that college thing didn't go through since scam, etc. I don't know how long this has been, but what is your game plan? So how many quit then? Was there a wave of quitters, or were you the only one? And when was that? A while ago? Years? Months? A few years, so 3 years. So since then you are doing game development on your own. And what is your end goal then? If games are a byproduct, what do you do with the engine? Are you going to sell it or something? Just to have fun. But for that you wouldn't need to go to the university. Wasn't that your plan as a career? I see. Well, how far do you want to go with that? I mean, at some point, you want to get to your goals, no? And I'm still not sure what your goal is. Seems like you are just programming for the sake of it. This is very complicated here, but I have to go here. Whoop, wrong. Yeah, this is cool. What is this? Interesting. Huh. I actually wanted to make a child of this. Abstract barrier creation or magic? Skill, ability? Ability. Something like that. Ah, I see. So this thing needs to memorize the wall it creates And it needs to replace the wall that already is there. Now the problem is, if there is a wall already, we want to refresh it, but does it make the same animation then? Just delete the old one and then just override it with the new animation? Which means I need to make a barrier now too. Fighting entity barrier. Which then needs to be... Wait, does it then have a visual entity? Which is the barrier itself then? Man, today I'm extremely slow. Not doing anything. How would that thing even know what barrier to create? Is it just some kind of variable inside here? There's a ability info in there. What is actually in here? Why did that get auto-filtered? Probably. I usually don't look at streams, so... Even if you gave me the link, I don't think I have time. What do we have here? Switch. Switch. I mean, this one is self. Problem is, does this need to be a special self? You would need to find out. But no, it is not a special self because it's always a mix of things, right? So funny enough, I wouldn't even need this to check because we would be in here. Now what do we call this one? The naming must be something that can be stronger. Like this should be the lowest attack and then we need to go higher and higher. I could... The problem is, I'm now looking for crystal names, etc. But usually these are gemstones. And I cannot go for gemstones because they already would be if I use them. Part of an element I already have. Like fire being ruby or something. I can't use that. And if I Google for crystal types, it's always gemstones. Are there no different classifications? I guess if you say crystal, the classification is the actual gem. Maybe crystal forms. Can we see what is strong versus not strong? Cubic, hexagonal. Well, I cannot go with geometry either. Ah, shit. Because geometry also has a link to my elements. Bye for function. There's Mohs hardness scale. Problem is, that's just a number, and not some kind of name. Let's see what Wikipedia says. So yeah, they just go with the gemstones, etc. I mean, it would be funny. I could say diamond is the hardest wall you can go, but earth has also a wall. Do I then go with rocks instead of gemstones? We can't use this. Maybe something spiritual, since it's magic. So spirit wall is maybe already a better classification name. Now, what kind of spirit classification could we have? That leads me to D&D. That doesn't help me. Sadly, I'm ESL, so thinking about other words is rather hard. But I mean, spirit is already hard to think of. To go and think of something that's combined with a wall. Maybe it doesn't need to be exactly a what is the word? A more intense going word, I guess. Maybe I just need 3 different words and then the player just has the pattern in at some point, like, yeah, okay, this one is the weakest, etc. Let's come up with some names. If I go for chakra, for instance, I could have them linked to element 2, but good thing is there are 7 chakras, which means I cannot map it out to my elements. Fully, that is. But then again, I have probably only 3 walls, so I cannot map them anyway. So no, we can't go for that too. I feel stuck. I would like to name this in a proper way, so we don't end up with dummy names again. Like, if I went for Spirit Wall, is the next level of this ability Spirit Barrier and then Spirit something else? Are there 3 different ways to describe a wall? What are the walls called of a outpost of Vikings? Are these barricades? Like those wooden posts? What are they called? A palisade? What is a palisade? I mean, I hear the word a lot, but I guess that's exactly what it is. Can a palisade be out of rock? So there are modern stone palisades for decoration. But they are extremely low. I guess you could make them longer, but that would also mean they are very brittle. So no, there are usually no rock palisades, but we are in a magic world. So a palisade is just a stake. It doesn't matter what material it is. So maybe palisade is also something. But probably not. I don't want to use the word barrier because we are using it in the project already. So for Earth, we could go for wall, fortification, barricades, palisade, bastion, etc. Something like that. And for crystal, we can go for bubble, shields, and then I don't know. What other names for shields are there? A screen? Maybe. Would you think that a screen is stronger than a shield? Let's add it to the list. Or a literal world, protection. But I'm not sure if it fits to everything else. Now we could make it so that the crystal one is called bubble shield, barrier shield, screen shield. Screen shield though. Bubble shields. Is there something that would be a little harder than bubbles? So I like the word bubble shields because for our first ability it is perfect. Just need to make some kind of bubbly thing, but is it a bubble? Can I even make a bubble shield? Because bubble shield would infer a bubble, but I don't want to enclose the whole formation. I just want the front. Do I just make a bubble in front? Or multiple bubbles? That just swirl around and then you can pop them. Problem is, the moment I want to make this visual, I don't know how to make this weak. If I make it like a encapsulating thing, then all the other abilities that will be in front seem to be very weak. If I make a small bubble, then why a bubble to begin with? If I made multiple bubbles like clustered in front and you can pop them, how would a bubble look like? Now we are in crystal and not in water, so it shouldn't be a sphere. It should be like something very, very geometrically correct. Something like a, I don't know, like a normal solid. But then that looks strong already. And even then, would the next level be just more bubbles? Do I then call it a foam shield? I can't go with that. It doesn't synergize with itself. Just the name Bubble is pretty good for a first attack. How about we go with deflect and then add something behind it, like a deflect lens, deflect shields, deflect what? Screen. Now, the problem is we already have some kind of shield effect in our intro that probably needs to change anyway. But if I use the same thing with the lowest name, well then why is the intro one that amazing already? I guess if I used a different texture, that would make it already better. Then again, no pattern shader would look very bad. Do I show the shields forever when I cast it? Or do I hide it after cast and it just pops up again when it gets damaged? I wonder. My artist just finished another commission, it seems. Now the problem is the lens. This is not a lens. Maybe we need a different name for lens. Shield and screen could be this, and then this. I'm right now thinking about, like, my mind just flew around. We will have this barrier, which is like the last ability, deflect screen, whatever. It will look like the effect we see in the intro, and the intro one is extremely strong. Maybe this thing is something you can learn, whatever. It should be maybe a crystalline thing that is a little different. What if we then go into a boss fight where we face the big evil, and this guy has an ability that is called nullify magic attacks, because it's in a pattern where you have to beat it with physical attacks or something like that. Now, is this a good idea? Because you are free to make your formation as you like. What if you choose to have only magic attacks, and then you face this enemy that can block all magic attacks? Which probably means the pattern needs to stop at some point where the shield goes away, so you are able to kill it with magic attacks. Of course, it would take it would be a little harder, maybe, but I guess I would need to design a fight like that if I nullify a type of attack for a certain amount. Let me download this real quick. a sec. Okay, so my artist just delivered. So we are only missing Slimy. And that's it, I think. Is that really the last already? Did we already do all the commissions? Let me check. Fishy, Tomati, Shroomy, Orky, Snack. Yes, they're all here. Huh. Then the next one will be Slimy already. And then we're done with the thumbnails. Okay. So I guess the naming for now here is not that important. We can always come up with something, but deflect something should be the way to go. So maybe not Spirit Wall, but Crystal. Deflection something. Deflect barrier. And then we can make a child in there. Abstracts. Wait, how did we call it? Oh, we just called it Ember. Ah, ability Fire. Ability Crystal. Deflect. For now, it's called Lens. Alright, here it is. We need to check for the wall, and we don't have that. We have the front. How do we target a summoner? We probably don't currently. No, we just go for the abstract. Did we have some code for it? Probably not. So we probably need to cast this in order to get the summoner. Or do we have a map? We have a entity map, so we could look for the slot summoner. If that gives us something like... If that's true, then go for it. Right. So that would work. So now the question is, we will have a slot for a barrier, but in a barrier there can be two walls at the same time. Do I have a crystal barrier slot and a earth barrier slot? Problem is, what if we have other barriers too, like fire barriers? I mean, they probably wouldn't have HP, etc. and are time-based, but what if? I'm clicking around while my mind is somewhere else, thinking about the ability. How did we do it before? Like, how did this happen? It has a barrier slot. So Do we have different... Ah, interesting. Now that is interesting. So we are going for different slots. And since I use a map, it can be infinite. Summon barrier. Crystal barrier. Earth barrier. I see. So the competitor itself has a barrier slot map in my old system. So I guess we need to do something similar here. Not because we already did it before, but it just makes sense. Now where's my competitor though? This one. So barrier slot. Which means we need a barrier type now too. Wait, if I do this, taking damage should be everywhere. What does this implement? Flight to slots. Yeah, that's fine. And this one doesn't implement anything yet. Just there. Alright, so create child. FE barrier. Which can be of earth barrier or crystal barrier, but a barrier it is. And damage taken, etc. is from the abstract. Update UI elements. Now that could be a problem. Gets the stat. Thumbnails widgets. That's the good thing here. The problem is thumbnail widgets is probably not just... Huh, how do we create these right now? Yeah, that's just a widget component. And then we do this. Yeah, this might be a problem for walls. We need to think about... Maybe we can just use a thumbnail widget for walls too. We sure need some kind of indication with HP, so could make this. Are we actually checking for confuse for single attack here? Possible targets. Oh, how would I know where to summon the wall? So if I use an ability that creates a wall, this possible targets does not work anymore. And we would have the solution here, but possible targets is not something that's enough anymore. I think we also need to send the competitor it is targeting. I don't think an ability can mix between different targets. But it is needed for walls, that's for sure. Okay, so no matter what, we need target competitor. Is this the one we are using? Or is it this one? Wait, this is the... Should be this one. Yes. So I don't need to use this all the time, but if it's the wall, a barrier, then I need to do it. So this is always null for the usual targeting, which I would need to fix. Ability center. How do we even find our targeting? So let's say the ability or the our playing does not have a tactic, so a default one needs to go. And if we say try abilities to center else neutral, this thing needs to actually give us the right one, which is we need to be able to if we use ability, this needs to face ourself. Oh my god, I need to change so many things. Maybe I should do a list of things to do. What else? Is this all we have to do? Probably. Of course we... decide if wall stays visible. Now, if I think about it, for the crystal shields, that's easy. You can just fade it out and fade it in. But if I do the physical wall, I cannot just fade it in. In my inspired game, Jade Cocoon 2, the barrier would just come up from the floor very, very fast and disappear again into the floor. And I don't think if I make my 3 levels in a way that is like extremely epic, big, whatever, that wouldn't work. But then again, a barrier shouldn't be extremely big. Well, step by step. I guess today we didn't implement much, but we did find a lot of things we have to take care of. And I fixed something with the shaders, but whatever. I think I will call it a day for now. So Phil, Fifth Function, thanks for tuning in. Lurkers, thank you, thank you. Everyone, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye, monkey.